comment that was made about Britain when the empire was vast and expansive. It used to be said the sun never set on British soil. On the British Empire, or British soil. And the Irish responded by saying, because God doesn't trust you in the dark. And so, I say that, Mr. Speaker, because to have a relationship with the United Kingdom without any oversight would be deeply problematic for us. You will see, as we have seen, since 1999, this process by which power has been taken away from the overseas territories. And I hold former governments responsible to sit by and allow this to take place. But what's the point of having a constitution if the UK don't respect the powers that are allocated in the Constitution, Mr. Speaker? And so this passport matter may seem relatively small. It has big implications. It has big implications. And I would encourage the government to look at it in its full context. It is not a minute issue. It is part of an overall strategy that the UK has been playing out since 1989. And when our Honourable Premier goes to the UK in December for the joint ministerial conference, you will have the UK bringing forward issues that have nothing to do with their constitutional powers. And I would encourage the Premier to push back. Because you either have a constitution that you respect, or you don't have a valid constitution. Once the UK move on the passports, they will be able to go back to the UN and say, you know what? Everybody in Bermuda, everybody in Cayman, everybody in Turks and Caicos has said they want to be British. They all know British passports. So the issue of decolonization no longer arises. And so, again, this is not a political partisan issue. This is an issue of national importance. This is an issue that transcends the sort of peculiarities of political party positions. And I really hope that the Premier can demonstrate sincerity on this issue and let us have a collaborative, collective approach. Because we are talking about our long-term interests. This government belongs to no party. This government belongs to no individual. So let us look at this issue at a very minimum, Mr. Speaker, with the degree of seriousness that it involves. You know, we have powers that allow us to look at our internal issues. But there are times when our external concerns become very, very important. This is one of those times, Mr. Speaker. And so as I take my seat, all I will say is the following. We are in a situation where the world is changing rapidly. We need to have more and not less authority to make decisions that benefit our interests. The Honourable Finance Minister brought today a very important piece of legislation that will allow us to get a further sort of niche market redeveloped, because as you said, we lost sight of it over the years. It just so happens that our ability to pursue that was not impeded by UK concerns. But I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, when the UK starts talking about contingent liability, as they've applied to Cayman and other territories, we need to be concerned about that. And we cannot have our economic interests hamstrung by primarily civil servants, because the UK politicians don't give much regard to the overseas territories, only when there is an embarrassing situation, like the Uyghurs, for example. But by and large, this issue is driven by civil servants. I would encourage the Premier, I would encourage the Finance Minister to look at the issues that we need to address as we move forward, and address the issue of our relationship with the United Kingdom. They have taken power away, and they continue to. And some of you may tire of me raising this issue, but I raise it because I care about my country.